Yo, yo, yo. Good afternoon, good evening. Good afternoon to some of y'all. Hope y'all having a good Friday on these berry streets of the market. I already know Hustle done made a killing today, so. Antoinette, how you doing? Hustle, how you doing? Got a poll up in the chat. If y'all don't mind hitting that poll. All right, so I'm about to go over some alerts that we got in the Wolf Empire, and then we can get this started. If y'all got any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. If y'all want me to go look over some tickers, go ahead and put that in the chat as well. And then I'll filter through these, and then we could get started. Definitely keeping oil, ES, and NQ. I should, have Hustle get in my Discord, and then she can talk through this stream about NQ, because, that's her territory. I'm gonna keep oil on there, and then S5th, so we can get the breath. Yeah. Actually, put the VIX first. Boom. All right, let's go over these tickers. CT, how you doing? Black Wolf been telling me that I'm late on trades. Is there a way to check or reset my TradingView account? What you mean by reset it? Oh, do you have market data? If you didn't purchase market data through TradingView, your stuff is 15 minutes late by default. So if you look in your top corner of your tickers, it'll have a D, a orange D for delayed. So if you're trading on 15-minute delay, you're definitely gonna be late on entries and exits. So you might need to look into that ASAP Rocky. All right. Shopify lost. Shoot. Ooh, Nvidia. Let's see. They got a little more. They got a little more to go. I'm gonna put them. I slap them on now. Let me look at shop. They got a. I mean, that's a good size move, but nah, we can skip shop. Let me see if we got any supplies. DST, oh, that's at 10:30. So we shouldn't have that much, but nothing but oil stocks. Okay, yeah, okay. Oxy, SLB. Ooh. Let's see what Oxy at. Oh yeah, he just got that trigger. I'm gonna put that on there. Any more tickers? Well, I just start with the oils and then trickle into it, into the actual oil. I'm gonna put XOP on here. Boom. We can go with the ETF. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Y'all can put more tickers in if y'all want to. If y'all got any more questions, just drop them in the chat. I'll look at them. All right, so right now we have VIX sitting at 3104. That is high. That is very high for VIX. That's why the market keep whips on. All right, so I'm gonna look at the month. So on the monthly, we got a current floating candle that's in supply right now. I mean, we already swept this supply twice. So it ain't looking too good for the home team. And last April, you know, VIX did this. So, well, March and April. So this is the same timing as of last year. Looking at the week time frame, we already swept, hit liquidity here on the WTMA and the top of the order block, and pulled back down, only to retest the 12 and the WTMA twice. So it is definitely holding this trend upward right now, as of right now. Looking at the daily, we got a fresh inverse arc. The only saving grace we had on VIX today was a rejection off of this trend line, which, I mean, I see in about a couple more trading days and a couple more headlines of news, we're going to blow right through this order block. And then once we get past this daily trigger, VIX 60, as my boy Jared says. Okay, so we do have a little upside cap on the 3 day. So I wouldn't be extremely bearish until those levels break. But I mean, the market is definitely in a correction. So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and look at the S&P futures. So looking on the month, we're still well above the 200. This was 2020. This is the last correction we had last year, the one I was talking about in April. So we came down and retested the bottom of this WTMA cloud and shot up like crazy. So that move is very much feasible right now. Can you look at USO bet? I'll go ahead and add that now. Boom. All right, so looking at the week, hey, this thing, hey, we just got a fresh change of character ending today. Well, starting today, we just got a change of character on the week time frame. If you look over to the left, you see these VRVP nodes are about to taper off. So this is a key level for now. You got a previous all-time high here, which is kind of correlates with this VRVP shelf. If we lose this level, we're definitely going down. What's this? 6,050-ish. That'll probably be like the next key, or this fair value gap right here. But it's just definitely not looking good for the S&P right now. We may get some news and rally, but so far, what I've been seeing with the same pattern is we'll get a news headline that creates a pop, and then after that pop happens, we sell it right back off. So I wouldn't be too enthusiastic. All right, so looking at the 3 day, we just had a trigger that just confirmed during this week. So we already got the trigger that didn't already happen. And we had a pullback and then a continuation down. So that's not looking good. It's looking good for the bears though. Looking at the daily time frame. So right now we're sitting in a daggone demand zone. I'm pretty sure last week this was the level that we had an order block. We just confirmed that. Pretty sure we had an order block right here that we swept. Yep. We had an order block right here that we swept, came all the way back up, and then all it was a retest of the 12 and the WTMA and another move down. So the next area of interest on the S&P, wait a minute, let me get more of this. I just want to make sure. Okay, so the next area of interest, I would say 63.30 if we held it. But we can sweep at the bottom of this order block, pop up. And I said this last week, you should probably just fade every pop-up because it ain't looking too good. All right, here goes NQ. Not my forte, but I know whose it is. But so right now we close under the 12 on the month. Well, we haven't closed yet, but currently we're under the 12 and we're under the top of the WTMA cloud. I mean, so far it's looking like we could just, we can drop, and it's on aggressive. The ATR is on aggressive, so that's definitely a real move. Yes, every pop lead to a drop. Every man trying to tell you, that's where the wicks come from. All it is retesting WTMA and dropping. It is crazy. Actually, every one of these little pop-ups is a news headline that we're resolving conflict in the Middle East. Look at the June monthly candle. Ooh, that dang near Marabazu. It's dang near Marabazu. So you got the breaker structure right there. So if anything, that's probably gonna be our next. Oh man, you see this VRVP lineup? Sheesh. Yo, that's looking like. And then so once we clear 22,840, we definitely coming back to retest that previous all-time high at 22,399. So that's gonna be a huge drop. And if you trading futures, foot stomp, you should probably be shorting right now instead of going long. I ain't no pro trader or anything, but you should probably be shorting instead of going long on NQ, because tech getting slapped up every day. Actually, I'm gonna add these two on here just because I looked at them and it didn't make sense to me. I'm gonna add those. All right, so in the weekly, we just got to change the character. Oh, I was on the daily. Here we go. So a potential pop-up, in my opinion, is around this 23,000 area. It's probably gonna come back up to this VRVP node, and you know what's gonna happen right after. It's probably just gonna hit the WTMA, and we gonna fade it again until we hit this empty void, and then that previous all-time high that we were just discussing, we probably gonna go down now. It's looking real grim right now. All right, here goes S5th. So when we're over 60, that tells us that the market is healthy. We are so far at 42.94. That's all I have to say about that one. 60 is up here. We're at 42.94. All right, here go the superstar of the market right now. Oil. So we broke out of a falling wedge on the monthly time frame, which is one of the strongest time frames to break out of a pattern, right? So once we broke out of that thing and this conflict started, we got this huge surge when oil was over 120 a barrel or something for like a day or two, and then we came back and swept down. Here goes that move right here. That is insane. That's insane. But yeah, I remember on the live that I did with this actual candle, we swept 2 order blocks, and I said, hey, it's gonna come back down and retest. And what do you know? We got this trigger time frame right here that was on the weekly time frame, and we retested it twice. And right now it's holding above those. So that analysis is still holding true 2 weeks later. All right, so right now our current setup, let me make sure 3-day. So right now the oil futures has a trigger time frame on the daily time frame. I would say 102. Nope. $102.50. $102.50. If we close above that on the daily time frame, we're gonna soar a little bit. Probably gonna go to 112, sweep again, come back down, test the previous not previous all-time high, but the previous high that we broke out of this one, and then continue up. They already, I think they closed the Strait of Hormuz indefinitely this morning, so I'm pretty sure that's not going to be rocket fuel for the market anytime soon. All right, here goes the ETF for oil and gas. So this is where you'll find your ZOMs, your COP, MPC, USO, all of the oil tickers. You'll find them in here. Right now we have a strong monthly candle that broke out of a I wonder if y'all see this with me. And then it goes the pole. So right out of a bull flag, or a pennant, I would say, a bull pennant on the monthly time frame. And I just said that the monthly time frame is one of the strongest time frames to break out of a pattern. So we already is above the trigger. So if we close above this trigger, we're probably gonna get some little pullback. We're probably gonna get some relief news and then continue up, unless, you know, this conflict gets worse. And we're also looking almost at a inverted head and shoulders on the monthly time frame. I'll just show that to you right now. Right here. There goes the shoulder. Shoulder here, head right here, shoulder here. This is the neckline. So, yeah. Do a top down on XOP, everybody. Creole said it. Let me uninvert this. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Do a top down on XOP, which includes USO. All right, so on the monthly time frame, we got a head and shoulders pattern, inverted head and shoulders pattern, and it just broke out. So let me line up this demand zone so we can see what this VRVP profile looks like. Oh, what do you know? It thins out. So with that being said, this is unimpeded resistance right here on the monthly time frame. So I'm gonna go down to some previous, some smaller time frames to see if we got some resistance. So you see this order block, we're already past it with almost a Marubozu candle. So we can easily come up to the top of this order block at 222 and then sweep back down. But with the conflict rising, with it escalating, I don't see us coming down anytime soon. On the weekly, I think that's the same level, 225. Yep. Same level. We can shoot to 225 without interruption right now, according to the week. Look on the day. Nothing's on the day. Let's see what the 4 hour has. 4 hour has nothing. 2 hour has. Oh wow. There's no way. It's loading. The 2 hour has nothing. The 2 hour has nothing, everybody. XOP, top down, high priority. So that's XOP. That is the star child of the market right now. All right, I'm gonna look at NVIDIA. Speaking of star child, this is the X star child. NVIDIA is sitting on the 12 EMA on the monthly time frame. It could bounce here, but with everything happening the way it is, tech is not looking too good right about now. Every headline is like, oh, we about to come to a resolution. And then the same hour we hear about an attack happening, which is killing tech right now. So it would look good to buy shares here, but just because the conflict isn't over, buying anything right now is kind of crazy. You can just short everything except energy and make money. Let me add OKE SPX. Right. So looking at Nvidia on the week, right now we're sitting in a demand zone that's been holding since September 2025. So it's not that old. And I would actually argue that it's been holding this level since here. So since July 2025. But that looks like a head and shoulders to me. So Nvidia ain't looking too hot right about now. You can even see the head and shoulders pattern in the WTMA. So right now, if we close under this 163 level on a weekly time frame, we're definitely gonna crash Nvidia to oblivion and test these previous all-time highs. Now we do have a demand zone. Why this pen always still? We do have a demand zone that is approaching on the daily time frame. I'm going to check smaller time frames to see if we have any impedance to make this $4 to $3 move, just to make sure. So we just had a change of character right here. Well, a break of structure right here. Oh, okay. That makes sense now. So we're at a good level for Nvidia to buy, but on the monthly time frame, we are on the 12. So I mean, it would kind of make sense to buy right here, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I remember Sean was telling us that they was going after valuations, and Nvidia was one of the top ones that they were going after. So definitely don't do a trade plan before you do anything with Nvidia. Yeah, and the daily is just stuck in a rectangle. Same rectangle it's had since October, I believe, but September. Even before that, I say August. This whole area. So definitely wait for a break above 200 if you want to be bullish, or if those demand zones are strong enough and you get like a 4-hour inverse arc with a floating candle, block candle, then you can get in, because right now it's very turbulent. And day trade it. Don't even swing trade right now. VIX is too high. Ooh, USO. So USO is pressing up against a monthly demand zone, and it's currently in the 200 cloud. So that ain't too good for it, but it did just break out of a rectangle. Look at the 2 week. 2 week is still in a demand zone. It's in multiple demand zones in order blocks. Post market, it's already up $1.50. It's probably because we probably got some news right after the market closed. But hey, who knows? Bars. All right, on the weekly time frame, we just breaking all type of levels. On first retry, we not even coming up to reject and then breaking out. We're going straight through it. So this one, it did do that though. So it came up to this the supply, dropped down dang near to the WTMA and retested it, and then shot back up. So that was a good pullback. That was a good healthy pullback. Looking at the daily, still approaching that same demand zone. Actually, got a question for y'all. What would be the trigger time frame for USO to break out? Here's a 3 month. Here's a 1 month. Here's a 2 week. Here's a 1 week. 3 day. 1 day. And I'll stop at 1 day. Which is the trigger time frame that USO has to close over for it to continue to break out? I'll give you a hint. No, I'm not. I see 1 day. Any more answers? Any more answers? All right, we got the 1 day. We got the 3 day, 1 week, 2 week, 1 month, and 3 month. All right, I see 3 months. I'm gonna take one more answer. One more. Actually, let's see if we got one on the 4 month. Okay, nothing on the 4 month. All right. The correct answer is the 3 month. So your trigger time frames are the largest time frame that the same demand or supply zone is sitting on. So basically the larger one, so in this case, big bank take little bank, right? So if you got this trigger on the 3 month and you tried to take it on the 1 day, you could easily just get swept to oblivion. If you waited on the 3 month, that means you close this over this supply zone for a quarter of the year. So a quarter of the year is much more stronger than 1 day. So right now we have 3 more days left in the month. So this can definitely push right past it and close above it. But we can also sweep. So I think we'll have some news article that, when this, pushes above it, so we'll get some relief, and then it's going to come down and sweep and retest a previous high. But the correct answer is the 3 month. Oh no, man. Somebody been teaching her something. I don't know who. All right, so 1 month in the 200, pressing up against the supply. I think I already went over these time frames. Yep. Okay, so we do got a fresh. So this is my favorite WTMA pattern that like for breakouts. So you always have the WTMA pressing right up against a demand or supply zone, and it makes this shallow bend, right? You'll get a shallow arc and then inverse arc right after. These are where you make hella gains at, but we haven't tested this since, oh my goodness, 2018. So keep that in mind. So it can easily get swept. It can easily get swept. So, but the moment we close in the next 3 days, if we close that 3 month above this level, we can soar. Actually, what the VRVP says. Oh yeah, I can. Oh wow. I'm gonna go to the month just to see more defined. Put this demand right here. So yeah, you close over this on the 3 month, you see the VRVP. Nothing there. But you still have to fight this 200, which it has no problem with fighting the 200 right now. And I'm gonna look at MU simply because with all this down movement we had today, or this week, this month, for some reason Micron was up today, but I can see now that they getting their correction right about now after hours. They getting their act right. So on the month we're in a fair value gap and almost retested the WTMA. So look for that small little bounce probably on Monday or Tuesday, because it's gonna continue to go down. It's already down $3.50. Looking at the week, we have an arc confirmation. We just closed under the 12 on a weekly time frame, and we're trying to bounce off the WTMA cloud. Right now we're in a rectangle on the week. I'll show you a little more detail on the daily time frame. Here's the rectangle. So right now it could be a pivot spot for memory stocks in general. However, we just hit that trigger on the daily time frame and we closed under it. So right now they're at a pause. So what you want to look for if you're going to short these, look for a a rally, a small short-term rally, and a sweep, a buy-side sweep, and then boom, we're gonna come back down. And you can see the VRVP, it gets pretty thin pretty quick. Go ahead and delete this. All right, so where we at right now, the level to go to is 346.15. So we can, and it's a gap right here as well. So we can go down there pretty fast. And then after that, after we hold this level, if we break under 339, that's when, you know, all hell breaks loose on Micron. Western Digital on the month, fair value got retest, almost hit the WTMA as well, but right now they're in a doji candle, so this thing swings up and down all month, this month anyway. We're currently under the WTMA. Looks like we're sweeping liquidity multiple times on the buy side. So right now we tried to bounce off the 12 EMA cloud, the 12 cloud, so that's good for bulls. However, since Micron is taking a beating, 9 times out of 10, Western Digital is going to take a beating with it. So still in the overall bull trend, but you can see it starts to transition to neutral into bearish. And lower time frames always happens first. So you already see, you got your lock candle right here, floating candle, just sitting here in the middle of nowhere on the daily time frame. Nothing above it can save it. Well, nothing underneath it can save it right here where this VRVP shelf is. But it's literally sitting on the shelf and it popped back up. But after it closes a day under 268, that's when it's gonna fall back down to 263. So that's a quick $5 move, and it could sweep down there to go back up. So that move will happen pretty quick. We look at the overall. Okay, VRVP looks healthy until you get below this demand. You get below this demand. Actually, you get below 260. That's when it looks sketchy. That's when I'll be hitting up Hustle, be like, hey man, how do you all right, OKE. Wait. That's a good looking chart. Wait, did I put out let me make sure. Did I put a trade plan for them? Yes, I did. Spoons on the 20th. So a week ago from today, actually, is where I pinged Spoons. Like, hey man, you see OKE? And he was like, I can't trade today. Dang. So here goes a trade plan right here from, this is 3.9 though. Oh, that's when I forwarded it to, no, I thought I forwarded it in the chat, but I definitely put out one for everybody. So yeah, there it is right there. What did it say? Let's see what it said. That was 18 days ago. So roughly 2 weeks, two business weeks. Where was it currently? On the 9th, 3.9. I wanna do a check on learning with the trade plan. 3.9. Boom, right here. Ooh, what? All right, right here. Let me zoom in. Because if you would have took this trade plan, you definitely would have been paid. All right, 3.9 is right here. Just gonna do that right there. That was, you got the arc and you got a lock candle with the pullback. Ooh, okay. All right, so what was, okay, the current grade at that time was a B plus. We didn't have an order block ahead, so we had a 2 hour to 4 hour acceptance above 88.50 with 2 follow through candles. Continuation to 90.50 to 92 bucks. Let's see what we had. A 4 hour and a 2 hour. Let's see. So they go to pullback. Where's the top of this candle? But it definitely hit 90 and beyond. So this is almost 90 right here. We had a breaker structure right here. I think we had a breaker structure on the day too. We had a breaker structure on the day with a gap up and a rise up to 92.14 is the top of that candle. Now, I ain't no wizard or anything, but I'm pretty sure that 14 cent wouldn't have mattered to some. So it definitely hit target. So the first target was $92 even, and PT2 is 96 to 100. Well, let's see what the top of this candle is. 95.30 is the top of this candle. So it ain't done because it just broke out. So that trade plan, which is 18 days old, is still holding true. Hint, hint. Rinse and repeat trading plans when you can, because if it just pulls back into the same zone, just wait for the same confirmation. You can keep playing the same trade. All right, so yeah, looking at we already looked at the month. Fresh inverse arc with a floating candle. We got 3 more days. If we close above this WTMA cloud, that'll be even more excellent. We got VRVP tightening up. It's getting slim up here. Well, actually, we got a little resistance right here. So we might hit a wall at around 97.50. But, I mean, with this war, it don't even matter. It'll just blow through it more than likely. And then we got on the weekly, we got the next resistance to be the top of this order block, which is around $104. That's not too bad. That's $10 from where it's at right now. So if y'all want to do an up-to-date trade plan on OKE, I would behoove you to go do it. Looking at the day, it just, man, yeah, this thing look good. Yeah, this looks good. This finna be empty. Ooh, I can see 103 in our future pretty fast, pretty soon. Yeah, because it's gonna try to close this gap anyway. So that's extremely good on OKE. And that is an oil stock. So remember what I said about XOP and CL futures. This goes right into that. Okay, I'm looking at the poll now. We got 9 votes. We got 33% of y'all saying we're in a pullback. 0% saying we're in a crash. That's good. That means your emotions are intact. 56% saying we're in a correction, and 11% saying we're still bullish. So technically, all 3 options are correct. Technically, as macro wise, we're still bullish, but weekly wise, like if you go down to a like the weekly time frame, we're definitely in a correction. We're in correction territory, but macro wise, we're still bullish, just enduring a pullback. So all 3 of those are technically correct. It's just how small your lenses are, or how big your lenses are. So good job on that. Just don't panic right now. You know, VIX is high. When VIX go back down, everybody can go long and get in them leaps. That's gonna be so super cheap to purchase, because you know VIX done throttled all the premium right now. All right, here goes SPX. I got so many alerts up here that I can just delete. All right, so SPX. We're under the 12 and a WTMA cloud on the monthly. So that ain't good. Especially since we only have 3 more days to close. 4 days technically at 22 hours. So that ain't good. That's what, Tuesday? End of the month? Yeah, Tuesday. So we got to Tuesday to reclaim this, to, you know, keep the bullishness intact. Because definitely if we start a new candle right here and it's already down here, we're going to get a fresh arc confirmation on the monthly time frame. And remember, the big time frames trump the small ones, because you don't want to trade, you don't want to counter trend trade. So all right, looking at the weekly, need to get these alerts out the way. These things ain't hitting these no time soon. Come on. All right. So on the weekly, we got is this the second floating candle? Yes, it is. We got our second floater to the downside, and with a fresh change of character. That ain't good. So we got a change of character on last week, right? And then we had a pullback. So I'm gonna flip this just so you can see the way I see it. So every time we get a change of character, I tell my mentees this all the time. Usually, I say 8 times out of 10, not every single time. So usually we have the pattern. We have the change of character with the pullback, and then the rally. So if you look at it from that perspective every time, you won't get caught off guard on the pullback. You don't hop straight in as soon as we get a candle closing above a key level, because most of the time it's gonna pull back and then go. Please get this pin off. All right, there we go. So we got 2 bearish floaters with a substantial amount of volume in the last 5 weeks. You can kind of see the bullishness fading. Like we had one outstanding bullish week, and that was a doji. So it ain't looking too good. Ooh. All right, here's the daily time frame on SPX. So although there's an order block here, which indicates we can sweep, I wouldn't be super bullish here. I'm not sure this level correlates with anything other than the monthly WTMA cloud and the monthly 12, really. Let me put a box right here just to make sure. I'm gonna draw a box just to map out this so I can see it on the monthly. Ooh, okay. So that's a long way down. Go back to the day. So I'm pretty sure this level is where the bottom of this order block is. Then let's see. Yeah. So right now we're in a bounce spot. So if we did sweep, we could go back up. But it's the way this news is. It keeps just generating. Like every time they try to put out good news to make the market rally, everybody sells it off. So I wouldn't be too ambitious on SPX. But when SPX do sweep, just look for the fade to pop. So when it pops back up and rejects off this VRVP, grab you a couple puts, because this thing ain't finna rally. And it's probably gonna come down to 63.25. That around that level, and then you take profits. You let this VRVP shelf be a support. Let it pop back up, and then you keep doing it. You just rinse and repeating it. That's all these traders are doing on this whole downside move. So it'll come down, pop back up, hit the WTMA and 12. They sell it right back off. Every time they pop it up, sell. Pop up, sell. Like rinse and repeat. I'm pretty sure these are the same banks that's doing this back to back to back. So yeah, SPX looking good for some shorts for sure. Especially with this breaker structure, where it's changing character right here on the daily. That's insane. All right, so I'm gonna go over these trigger time frames that I was calling out in the chat today. I don't know if anybody took it, but I sure hope somebody did. Cause Microsoft and Meta was just it was actually insane. Let me put this in the front. Bring that to the front. Oh, that's wait, is this a drawing? Yes, that is. That is a candle. All right, so let's go back over here. Boom. All right, so at 12:14, I said there was a 5-minute trigger on Microsoft. All right, so I identified the trigger right here. No, that's not the trigger. It was down. It was over here. Yeah, right here. 12:15. Yep, right here. So I'm gonna go in replay mode. Go back to the candle right before it broke. So approximately in this area, I said, hey, Microsoft has a 5-minute time frame trigger for the downside. If it closes under 359, we can fall to 357. And then I gave updates. All right, so let's see how that played out. So I'm gonna go candle by candle. Boom. That's the first 5 minutes that we closed under that 359 level. And then let's see how it played out. So remember, change the character, pop up, boom. Every time. And I said 357 target price. So I went to Sean today since we worked together, and I said, hey man, can you check my my trigger time frame logic right quick? He said, yeah. So I showed him this chart on my phone, and he said, oh man, yeah, that's right. He said, so what you want to do when you get a trigger time frame is to basically highlight the candle that set off the trigger. So since this candle set off the trigger, you want to get the high and low of that candle. And then you wait to see if price closes under it to get in. So after the trigger was set, you had to wait, what's this, 25 minutes for it to, do the actual move. And then it started to go down. And then it came back to retest it, the height of that trigger candle, and made a stronger move. Pop back up, came back down. So every pop, you can just fade it. I did this on my HSA account, made $100 just from this simple time frame logic. I'm working on my put game, so that's why I work with SPX. Shoot, you want to do it on SPX? Man, that thing volatile. I mean, but when it goes your way, you're going to make so much money. You can do XXP, get more size. You can get like, say for instance, well, SPX is 1/10 of it. So if you got 5 contracts of XSP, you're basically working with half of SPX, and you spend way less money to get the same move. They move the exact same. It's my horse. Ooh wee. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, hey, I know you balling then, cause that thing fell $108 today. Right to a wolf demand on a 5. Which so happens to be a trigger time frame if nothing else pops up. Yeah, it's a trigger time frame. The 5 minute right here. So we close under on the 5 minute. We close under 63.52. We falling. If we close above, what's it, 63.90, we gonna go up to like 6,400 or 64.21, and then reject. So not looking too bad. So you definitely got options with SPX. It's definitely, it hasn't been doing the midday reversal kind of stuff anymore since this conflict has jumped off. So that's pretty good. You got to worry about a lot of drawdown. Did anybody catch the meta move from the last 2 days by chance? Anybody? This thing went bananas. It went down $71 in 2 days. It made somebody rich. Guaranteed. Uh-oh. Okay, I thought somebody. Oh, okay. Somebody tagged me. Hustle? Oh, hey, if I know one person gonna get their put money, it's gonna be Hustle. I know that for sure. Man, and it still has some more room. You can just sweep the bottom of this. You can sweep the bottom of this VRVP level and this order block at $4.99. It can. Oof. That's insane. Yeah, I think Meta is setting a precedent to the market. It's down $3 more after hours. I think they're setting the tone for some bearishness. And I saw that Google closed under 200. No, not Google, Amazon, my bad. Amazon closed under 200. This is a good candidate right here. Went down $8 today, closing at $199.34. Now it's at $198.85. So yeah, top down on Google. I don't think this 200 is viable right now, but it could be. It could be. However, it ain't looking too good with this VRVP. Like it's looking real 188-ish. That's all I'm gonna say. So I behoove you to do a top down. All right, anybody got any more questions or charts you want me to go over before I start to wrap this up? And question, how do y'all like the trivia in the Discord that I've been putting out? I'm trying to get more engagement. Can you look at CLS? Bet. Ooh. Wait a minute. Before I get too excited. What is this Celestica? What do they do? Oh, electronics. They new. Yeah, they kind of new. They are on a rip, I can tell you that. Right now, they're a neutral and a strong buy. So that's good. Oh, love. Oh, man. Hey, yo. On the monthly, this is a good bounce off the 12. Like, it's almost bouncing off the 12 proper, the EMA proper. So that's extremely good. I can kind of see a pattern already. Kind of like this, right? I can already kind of see that. Yep. Now I can just adjust those. So it got some compression going on. We have a flat WTMA and 12. So you already know that this is gonna make a big move either up or down. So keep that in mind. That's on a weekly time frame too. So last time we had a flat one, it was kind of flat down here. So it's doing that same pattern. Ooh. This could. Oh man, that 3-leg look good. Okay. So we did get a change character bearish, but we popped right back up. So we probably need to close a 3-day over 324 for it to actually flip back up. Let me make sure if there's not one on the day. It might be one right here. Oh, we didn't close above it. That's why. Okay. Put this back in the front. Can't see. Can't see it. What is all this? I don't know. It's all hazy. What is happening? Oh, okay. I don't know what that was then. Okay, so we did get inverse with a strong move up, and we swept liquidity, followed by a 2-day pullback. Dang near right back to the entry spot. So, I mean, that looks good. It's decent, but it's definitely in that pattern that I drew in a pennant, a bull pennant. Let me see what we got on the 4-hour. Holding the WTMA cloud. Ooh, holding demand zones pretty good. Let me look on the 2. I don't usually look lower than the 2 unless I'm day trading, but you can already see that the 2-hour is starting to curl. Price is already closed above it. So what you want to look for is the 12 to act as resistance at first. The 12 to, bro, if you don't turn red, bro. All right, boom. That'll be the 12's projection right here. And then bro. All right, and then you'll see price comes up, reject, and start to do this before it crosses over. That's what you want to look for. You want to look for a 2-hour reclaim with the lock candle. So if you get a 2-hour floater, well, you get a 2-hour reclaim with a lock candle. That is good for longs at that point then. So your actual VRVP profile will look like this. It's gonna get slim. Yep. So by the time you get that reclaim, price will be like right around here, around this empty VRVP level. So like 282 to 286 is your first target, top of the 200 cloud. And then after that 286, it's ripping. It's going to start digging into this fair value gap. So CLS look good. Oh yeah, no problem, no problem. And it's making well, on the 2-hour at least, it's making higher lows. You know, big time frame is making lower highs, which is the earliest signal for reversal at this point. So especially when this curls up, I might look into this one myself. How much the contracts are usually? Are they in IWM by chance? They are not. At least I don't see them. No, they're not. Huh. That is, oh, I forgot. This is 2,000 stocks. What am I doing? Yeah, no. They ain't. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're not in. All right. So watch out for rate sensitive stocks too, by the way. So it's already projected that we're not getting a cut all the way till like December. And even then it's like 50-50 at that point. So if you trying to do some rate sensitive stuff, watch out on FOMC days when they try to fake people out with the fake pop-up and then they fade it. All right. It is 5 past the hour. Do I have any more questions? How do you feel about trading FICO? Oh my lord. Yeah, you trade that big money stuff. Ooh wee. What's the ATR on this? On the $150 on the week, $157 on the week, 68 in the day. The spread is crazy. I actually experienced light today, and it kind of ticked me off. I was up like $600. I put a trail stop, not a trail stop. I raised my stop loss to $100 under my current profit, which was at $600. Can somebody tell me what I sold that contract for? Can anybody guess? I don't think you gonna guess it. How much? on a scale to good trade logic to bad trade logic, what do you think happened? I was up 7K and it sold at 800. Oh my God. Yeah, don't trade them. Don't, absolutely not. I traded light today and I was up 600 and I put a stop $100 under my profit. So it would cap my gains at 500 even if it started to fall. Well, I ended that trade with negative $50. How is that possible that the spread was that crazy? And I was like $10 in the money. No, I was about $5 in the money when it sold, and it gave me, and it yielded me a negative 50 loss. So yeah, don't trade stuff with crazy spreads on it. You get hurt more than often, especially if it reverses on you. Yeah, I was livid, and I was like, I ain't ever trading this again. It was my first time trading light as well, so won't be doing that no more. All right, I'm about to wrap this up because I don't want to take too much of y'all weekend. My bro Manny had me in FICO. Man, Manny crazy, man. Nah, I'm good. Nope, I'm good. It went down $28. Never again. Please don't. Yeah, don't do that. Like the charts be looking so like immaculate, and then spread insane. It'll be like 10 people in the contract, and 8 of them trying to sell it at the same time, and 2 buyers. So yeah, don't do that. All right, yep. I'm about to wrap this up. I hope y'all have a fantastic weekend. Just go ahead and prepare yourself for the worst possible news all the way up until Monday morning, until we have some immaculate news. We're going to get a temporary pop-up, and then what we do, fade it, because Iran is just going to come up with something like, yeah, we're not doing a deal. So keep that on your mind. Stay blessed. Peace.